Hello everybody. I am actually a little early. I know I had said 10 p.m. but got home early, so yay for that. I will give you guys a little time to get in the room. Hopefully you guys are having a great Thursday. Mine has been pretty good. So hopefully you guys are doing well. We have a lot to talk about today. I'm really excited about this topic. It is a topic near and dear to my heart. I was getting checked on it even this week. And from the comments that everybody left underneath the post that I made about the topic, you guys really want to talk about it too. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to give a few more minutes just to let people come on. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Like I said, this is a really, really good topic that I constantly have to check myself on. So yeah, I'm going to start right at 9:40. So another 2 minutes maybe. How have you guys' day been? Hey, Eric. So Eric, I saw you were doing jujitsu and doing boxing. How did that go? That sounds like that would be a really tiring day. I have my tea today again. Today I did English breakfast and black tea because it was a long day and I didn't get a chance to. I've been trying to wean myself off of energy drinks, so I was like, I really need a strong black tea tonight. Yeah. And hey, Dawn. Everything hurts so good. I know that feeling. I haven't worked out in a minute. I need to get back on it. I said I was gonna start bike riding again. I really enjoy bike riding. And the weather has finally been breaking to do so. All right. Get all of my stuff together. Make sure I have all my photos that I need. All right, it is 9:40, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started so that I don't waste you guys' time. So today we're talking about imposter syndrome, and so let me tell you guys about alignment real quick, right? So I was like, okay, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I was just like, talking about how all the ways where I'm just like, I don't really feel like I'm an expert most of the time. And then I really feel like God was just like, imposter syndrome. And I was like, okay, I've heard about it, but let me revisit this and everything. And then I literally was looking at some articles and everything, because, I like to share the articles that I read. And why did I find not only the New York Times, but Forbes magazine did articles on imposter syndrome within the last 24 hours. So clearly, this is what we're supposed to be talking about, right? And so I am going to definitely make sure that we talk about this. I actually realized I just left one of my resources on the other side of the table. Let me grab it real quick. Hold on one second. Okay. I was early and then I still forgot something. Alrighty, so imposter syndrome, what is it? It is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts his or her accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. So what does that mean? So basically, it's constantly just like you're doubting yourself, you're doubting your experiences, and you're almost afraid that you're just going to be like outed as like, you don't really have the experience, you don't have the qualifications, you don't have, the education, all of that. It was first introduced in 1978 by two American psychologists, Pauline Rose Clance and Suzanne Imes, in their article, The Imposter Phenomenon in High-Achieving Women, Dynamics and Therapeutic Intervention. So they studied 150 high-achieving women, and they found that many didn't feel any sense of accomplishment. From all of the studies that people have done, they found that imposter syndrome seems to affect women and minority groups disproportionately. And so why is this? Because usually we're driven in a very white male dominated fields. In almost every field, that's kind of the priority, right? And so that sense of inferiority, you know, whether you're a woman, whether you're a person of a minority group, person of color, and especially if you're a woman and a person of color, that seems to just double the feeling, right? And so how does it manifest? Because it can manifest in a lot of different ways. You can be doing really, really great, but then sometimes have these doubts, right? And so you might feel like a fraud. You might feel like you devalue your worth. You might feel that you undermine your experience and your expertise. So feeling like a fraud. So that could look like a lot of different things, right? You might feel like, okay, there's a lot of people that are doing things better than me. There's a lot of people who, you know, they have more experience, and, you know, somebody's going to check me on what I know, and I'm just going to be seen as a fraud. You might devalue your worth. So there's a lot of people who, you know, have tons and tons of experience, tons and tons of education, and then they realize they minimize it, right? And so it's like, well, it's not that important, or yeah, I did these things, but, you know, they weren't that big of a deal. And so that's that undermining your experience and your expertise, right? I am going to give you guys a personal example. So for me, I work in two fields where it's very, I guess, success is measured like in outcomes and stuff, right? So I'm a therapist, but I'm also a cosmetologist. And so in therapy, it's very much like, okay, am I changing somebody's life? And I constantly have that feeling of like, man, if I say the wrong thing, that could like ruin their life. No, like, no, you know, they still have to make the choice, right? But, you know, I'll constantly feel like, you know, maybe I don't know enough, or maybe I don't have enough experience. I recently have been in a group practice. And so I went from like working with agencies and things to now I'm like just doing therapy, not doing anything else but therapy. But the majority of people who are the therapists are older than me, you know, have been in the field longer than me. And I just kind of sometimes will have the times when I'll walk into a room and I'm like, I'm the youngest person here. I'm the newest person. You know, I've only been in group practice for a couple of months. I've been doing therapy for a couple of years, but I'm like, I've only been just concentrating on this for a few months. Like, why should they listen to me? Or I'll have the feelings of like even feeling that intimidation when it comes to my clients, right? So I work in some more affluent areas. And so in those areas, most of the time when I walk in, my clientele, they're older than me. They might be a different race. They might, you know, be of a different socioeconomic status. And so I sometimes will get that look of like when they see me, and I have a very standard name, right? So Rachel Stewart, you come in, you don't know what you're going to expect. If you talk to me on the phone, you might not expect me when you walk in the door. And so that can be a surprise for some people, right? And so when that happens, I immediately kind of can recognize the looks, right? And I'm just kind of there looking like, do you really know what you're talking about? I had an experience like that actually last week in one of my sessions. So I had a family come in and we were doing some family counseling, and they were just like, well, how long have you been here? And how long have you been doing this? And I almost felt like, you know, not that they were questioning me, they were interviewing me, which I do suggest you should interview your therapist. You should make sure that it's going to be a good fit, right? But it definitely on my side of the table makes it very intimidating sometimes, because it's almost like they're trying to see like, okay, can you really help us? Are you qualified enough? And so I will constantly have to remind myself like, yes, you are. But that can be very scary. And I can definitely have times where I just feel like maybe I don't know enough, right? And so that's some of my experiences. So that's with the therapy. So then as a cosmetologist, I feel like I experienced that even more, right? Because I'm like fresh out of cosmetology school, even though I've been doing hair since I was 11. And I've been doing my own since I was probably about 9 or 10. I've been doing other people since I was about 11, and really more seriously since I was about 20. And even though I've been doing it for so long, and even though I know I went to school, it's a very competitive field, right? So there's people, you see tons of people all the time on pictures, on Facebook, on Instagram, they're posting their work. It's constantly this. And I'm always just like, well, is my work good enough? Am I going to be good enough? Can I do this? You know, and it's like, I have to give myself that grace to say, okay, you're still learning in both of my fields, right? And I know that I can only get better, but I still definitely will have those moments where I'm just like, I don't know if I'm it. You know what I'm saying? But I constantly, thankfully, have had a lot of support. You know, people come in and say, okay, like, this is why they need you. And I've even had my clients, both in my therapy work and in my cosmetology work, be able to validate, like, I'm so glad that I got you. You know, I'm so glad, like, I needed somebody like you. And that's been very validating for me. So, if you guys saw the title, not only are we talking about imposter syndrome today, but I wanted to do something fun. So, I wanted to do a giveaway. But there is a condition for this giveaway. So, what I am giving away is a book. It's called It's Too Expensive: Exploring the Lie of What It Costs to Build Your Dream. It's called, and the title up here says, For the Creatives, Builders, and Entrepreneurs. It is written by an author named Jessica Contessa. She said she's going to join the live stream, so hopefully you guys will see her in the group later. But she's an awesome author. You can find her on Facebook. She has this. She also is a website builder and designer. She works with women. She works with people all over, but her main focus is women, and a heavier focus of women of color. Single mothers, diverse ethnicity, ages 25 to 45. Highly creative and full of ideas, but lacks organization and in need of sound advice. So she works with women in need of business resources to help build their businesses by designing websites, business cards, logos, etc. She's a phenomenal woman. She's great at her job. If you go look at her website, it's thepropellab.com. And of course, I'll make sure I put links to it, but www.thepropellab.com. She also has a free ebook on there called Building While Broke that you can sign up and you can get, but it's fantastic. So if you want this amazing book, I am giving it to the first person who is willing to come on camera and tell a little bit about your experience with imposter syndrome. And so when you felt maybe that your experience wasn't enough, or you felt like, okay, I'm successful, but maybe, maybe I just got lucky. And so to come on camera, all you have to do, it doesn't have to be anything long and drawn out. You just have to be on your mobile device, have some earphones in, and be willing to just give a quick example of, this is what my experience with imposter syndrome. And then I will mail you this book, or if I see you regularly, I will give it to you the next time I see you. So, and this can be done anytime during the live stream. So whenever you're ready, just say, I'm ready. And you'll get this book free of charge. So anybody just already like, whoop, I'm ready to tell my story? I'm just waiting, giving you guys a chance to comment, to think about it a second. It's a really great book. I just got mine. I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm super excited to read it. Looking for headphones? All right, Brent. Cool. So as soon as you get them, let me know and I will bring you on. And if you don't want to go on camera, but you still want this book, you can look up Jessica Contessa. So that's Jessica, the typical spelling. Last name is Contessa. Contessa. Boom, right there. And you can find her Facebook page and you can look her up. And yes. So while we are waiting for Brent to get his headphones, yeah. And again, it is called It's Too Expensive: Exploring the Lie of What It Costs to Build Your Dream. Hey, Kia. Hey, Vanessa. And so, Brent, once you get your headphones, I think you also can just request to come on camera. So just send a request and then I can add you too. 2 more seconds. No rush. Take your time. Hey. And so what we're talking about, for those who just joined, we did a giveaway. So Brent is going to get this book mailed to him because he is going to come on camera and join me and talk about his experience with imposter syndrome and what that looks like. And again, it's just kind of like that doubting yourself and feeling like, I'm going to be exposed as a fraud. Maybe I don't have enough experience. Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe, my success was just a fluke, but we know that that's not true. But we tell ourselves that, right? So And I shared a little bit about my experiences, and it's something I fight all the time, y'all. Like I said before, I was preparing for this live stream. I was fighting it this week because I was just having those experiences of like, why me? All right, hold on. I just got the request from Brent. Cool. So let's hit adding. Come on, technology, work with us. Oh, try it again. Approve. Oh.
All right.
Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Thank you for being a brave
Oh,
volunteer.
no, I'm always here. I'm up for it. This is like the story of my existence at this very moment in time.
Okay, so tell us about it.
All right, hold on. Let me just. I want to let everybody know that they need to catch me right now. I'm gonna drop some knowledge.
Okay. Yes, please share. They need all this knowledge.
To
And then
talk.
before you get into your story too, can you give a little background, like who you are, what you do?
Okay, cool. That's it.
Promote yourself a little bit.
That's the easy part. All right, there we go. All right, it's shared out. People know. So yeah, hey everybody out there, and so my name's Brent Lewis. I am a photo editor at the New York Times.
Woo woo, big time.
Crazy to even fathom. It's only been 7 years since I left out of college, like 7 years a month or something like that. Before this, I was at the Washington Post for a very short amount of time. Before that, I was at ESPN The Undefeated, where I ran it was a website dedicated to the intersection of sports, race, and culture. I basically ran every photo on that website. So any photo that came across theundefeated.com came through my hands. That was my thing. And then before that, I was the staff photographer in Denver at the Denver Post, and it's a smaller place that you've never heard of. So that's a little bit of backstory about me. And throw that in.
And then you used to do Red Eye too?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, we got some Chicago-centric folks in here. So I was also, while in college, I graduated. I went to Columbia College Chicago. During the time, I had internships at the Chicago Tribune as well as the Red Eye back in, that was 2011 and 2010. But yeah, before that, I guess where are we at in life? I'm at 2010 now. All right, so taking before then, I transferred to Columbia from Northern Illinois University with the goals of hoping to become this amazing photographer and journalist after my stint at Northern, where I was going to be the Black Tony Stark. I wanted to completely wipe the floor with Bill Gates and be that rich. So that was the ultimate goal. But yeah. And also, Rachel and me go all the way back. I'm talking about like 2 flats on the Cadillac back.
All the way back,
Yeah,
right?
like day one.
Before puberty back.
Oh, I'm talking way back.
Yeah. Brent is also my bestie and the amazing person who, if you guys have ever shopped on my website, he built that and did all the images on there and all that. He did all of that. So just super creative. I'm so blessed to know him and be his friend and be friends with his wife and his son and all of wonderful family.
Yeah. No, I mean it's you, all right? You're amazing. You're a beautiful human being. You're a beautiful person. I don't know how I would be in life if I didn't know you. So I'm thankful that I know you. So by all means. But yeah.
All right. So imposter syndrome. What has that been looking like? You said you're living it right now.
Oh yeah. So that's my daily life. I'm 28 years old. I work at the New York Times in a spot where I'm no longer the youngest, which was crazy to even consider. I'm actually
Wow.
like somewhere in the old head like territory, like
Oh wow.
which is crazy. We have all these like 23 and 24 and 25-year-olds like walking in. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of here. Um, but basically, like I'm one part of a crew on the business section. I handle photos. I am constantly like throwing out people who are way older than me, way more experienced than me, telling them like go do this, go do that. I'm in charge of deciding what goes in the paper, what goes online, what goes where, who does that, what photographers are doing this and what photographers are going to do that. And that being in meetings and working on stories that are actually going to change the world. Like I don't want to sound cocky about that, but literally
That's
we
real.
break news. We break news. Like when the world stops when we drop something important. So for me, but beyond that, it's just the idea that like, I'm in this room with some of the most brilliant minds. Some of the people who've gone to Yale, folks who've gone to Harvard, people whose parents took them on vacations in the Poconos or Martha's Vineyard. We have a house in the vineyard. But it's
Right.
like all these different things. And here I am, like this kid, like from South Side Chicago, who, I was just happy to make it off the block. But,
Right.
and to be sitting in a room and they're like, so Brent, what are we doing for this? And I'm just like, I guess we're going to try some things. And
Yeah.
just having people look at me and ask me questions and look for direction is like, it's one of those moments that I'm battling back between understanding that I belong here, but honestly realizing at the end of the day, it's like, do I though? Like,
Right.
I just feel like it was luck. And people come to me all the time, it's like, oh, Brent, you're here because it's like skill and you put the hard work in. I was like, no, I got lucky. Like at the end, like honestly, I got lucky. And more people have been like pushing to say like, no, you put the work in, put the effort in, you've done all the things.
Right.
And I was like, no, I honestly got lucky. You can't tell me anything else besides like, I got lucky. I was in the right place at the right time, met the right people, with the right elbows. And now I'm like, I'm having to swim. I got to swim. I have no choice. I'm at this point in my life where it's just like, I'm learning how to swim.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where I'm at. And even before that, I mean, when I was at ESPN, I didn't know anything about that job. Like, let's just be honest
Yeah.
here. Like it was kind of like playing the piano, like teaching someone how to play a piano, but you're like reading the book. Like, so you just stay one lesson in front of them. That's all I was doing there. I was just like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Yep. We're working on nothing but the white keys today. Yeah. This is definitely a C major, a C flat. This is totally that. All right. Like, what does the black keys do? Like, I don't know. I haven't read that chapter yet. But
Right. We'll get there on
we'll
Thursday.
get there on Thursday. I'll see you on Thursday. Walk into, I'm like opening the book. So it's just one of those situations where I've been in this for a while. Even back in my Denver days when I was still like making pictures daily, it's like I'm on a staff of people with Pulitzer prizes. And if you don't know what a Pulitzer Prize is, it's literally the highest award you can get in journalism.
Yeah.
And there's cats that have multiples, and like they're befriending me, and we're cool, and like we're
Right.
hanging out, and I'm meeting their wives, and we're talking. But like you have Pulitzers, like plural,
Right.
and I'm like, how am I even here? Like it doesn't make any sense. And I'm always, for like the last 3 years of my life, I'm always just waiting for like Ashton Kutcher to pop out and be like, gotcha, you've been punked. And like, get on out of here. And I'm like, all right, you're right. All right, bye everyone. So that's what I've just been dealing with for 3 years. And I'm like trying to work my way back through it, but just being honest, like it's tough. It's tough not to look at what opportunities I have in front of me. And like I'm in this spot that people have worked their lives for, and I'm here in 7 years. Like we're 7 years from college. Like it popped up on Facebook. Like I just had my 10-year high school reunion. Was that 2 years ago? Like, yeah, it was
Yeah.
like two.
Stop telling our age,
Hey,
Dana.
you just admitted it. I'm fine with it. You just have to tell everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like 2 years. Like I'm like here, and I'm in a situation where like financially I can like support my family. Don't have to worry about anything. I can
Right.
like I'm not like out here balling. Like I'm not gonna like throw money everywhere. But like I have enough to get by and like meet the needs.
You can't make it rain, but you can make it sprinkle.
Exactly. I can make it sprinkle. I can make it sprinkle. We going on vacation. Where we going? We going to the beach. but we're going on vacation.
Right.
And so that's just where I've been at. That's just the situation I feel like I'm in.
Yeah.
And also it feels kind of lonely because you see other people, especially the ones that are like up there doing amazing things. You see some of the older folks, and they're
Hmm.
they've been in there for a while. I'm working with people who've been at the times literally longer than I've been alive. Like
Right.
not just being like out of college, like longer than I've been alive.
Right.
Um, and I'm still like even the folks that are like around me or around my age, I'm still sitting there looking at them. It's like, man, they got their stuff together. They know everything. They're good. Like I wish I had the
Yeah.
skills they had. And so I'm just kind of working my way through it and just
Yeah.
trying my
So
best.
how do you fight that? How do you have those? Because I'm sure there's definitely days where you're just like, yo, I'm killing this, and like I belong
Yeah.
here. This is my seat at the table. This spot was meant for me. So how do on those days, like, what are you doing to be like, okay, like, no, this is really for me. This is what I'm meant to be doing.
I think on the days where I'm like just feeling it, I'm just in it, like everything is just clicking. Like every single
Yeah.
thing's just clicking. Um I'm like the assignments are going out right, the pictures are coming back great. I'm laying out the pages, I'm in those rooms, I'm super confident when I'm talking. I'm like, hey, we need to do this, we have to do that. This is what we need
Right.
to run on the page. Like, why do I need to think that needs to run on the page? Because it makes the most sense. It's going to make the wow. This is how we're going to do it.
Right.
And so those are the moments I'm like kind of just I just feel confident in myself. And for me, um, for the people who don't know me, like Kanye West was my like idol growing up. So I call it my
Mm-hmm.
Kanye days. I got like a song in the back of my mind. I'm talking about like I'm in my spaceship zone. I'm in like I fly away zone. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling really good. I'm like, yeah, no, this is totally what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this.
Right.
And that's the way I kind of like I'm in that groove, and that groove is great. When I'm in it, you can't
Yeah.
tell me nothing. We're gonna keep dropping Kanye quotes throughout this whole talk, just letting everybody know.
I'm here for it. I am
Yeah,
here for
just letting you know. Because some days the brother just
Feel free to also drop any chants as well.
done.
Also.
Because some days the brother just wants to run away.
Yeah. That's so real. So one of the Eric said, I feel the same all the time, but I make decisions at work with such confidence no one even feels uncertainty. And so that's important too. Sometimes if you guys ever listen to Joyce Meyer, she has a saying to talk about like do it afraid. And so it's literally sometimes just being like, okay, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm terrified, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. And that's like doing it afraid. Dawn says she's been in ministry for 25 years, have a doctorate, and still never feel like I belong. I'm just waiting for folks to realize that they've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. And
Oh,
that's so
that's
real.
so real. I'm telling you, every
Yeah.
single day I go there and I put my ID on a little scanner or reader or whatever to get through the door, and
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the day it doesn't open. It's like, they got me. They got me. They finally figured it out. All right, well,
Yeah.
looks like I'm going to Starbucks. I can make a mean
Yeah.
latte. I can make a mean latte. Like,
What's important for you? So on the days when you're just like not feeling it, you're just like, okay, like this isn't me. What's important for you? Like who speaks life into you and what do you need to hear to get you back to that Kanye?
I think for me, it's one of those moments that like you take that step back, and it's always my ultimate goal in life is never to forget where I came from, and never to forget like
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed, like luck, blessed, whatever you want. I'm that. I'm in that. And in those moments, I'm like, I'm not right. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing that. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of those moments where I just take a step back and be like, yo, you could have came out so many different ways, and you're here for a reason.
Right.
And for me, what I've really happened recently, I've started talking to more people around the New York Times, and like everyone has this imposter syndrome. Like apparently, it's just
Yeah.
how the place runs.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you see the New York Times did an article
yeah, yeah,
like 4 hours ago,
yes.
or when I was looking at it, it was like 4 hours ago.
But it's a real thing. Like it's serious how the place runs, and it's one of those moments where I've talking to folks that have actually there have Pulitzers plural, or have been doing amazing work, and and there's like, yeah, I just hope I'm good enough. I'm like, what do you mean you hope you're good enough? You've been here for 30 years. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like you wouldn't have been here that long if you weren't. So if
Right.
anything, at the end of the day, like I take that and just look inside of me and really just pull out the idea. It's like, hey, I'm here. I don't know how long it's going to be before Ashton Kutcher pops out, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to take every
Right.
day and I'm going to push it to the limit. I'm going to try new things. I'm here for a reason. Because somebody
Exactly.
easily could have saw that. Like, be like,
Yeah.
you ain't supposed to be here, brother. You got to go. Like, they wouldn't have hired me if they weren't going to go for it. So
Right.
it's honestly just looking inside and just realizing it's like, you know what? Even if I'm not supposed to be here, I'm going to fake it till I make it. And if
Yeah.
someone catches me and is like, gotcha, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I
Yeah.
should go act. I'm going to try acting.
And then, like you said, it's realizing that everybody goes through that,
Yeah.
right? Have you seen? So, will you notice that women and like those minorities, that they have you seen that in real life, where it's like kind of more of that imposter
Oh
syndrome?
yeah. I mean that's the one big thing that so outside of working at the New York Times, also running we're not a non for profit yet, but we are an organization called
Mm-hmm.
Diversify Photo, which we the ultimate goal is to get more people of color in the rooms, in those spots when it comes to getting
Yeah.
those jobs, when it comes to getting those assignments, come doing all of the photography that you know and love and see. That's what we do. And so between conversations with folks telling me, it's like, hey man, I don't like talking with, oh god, I'm trying to think who have I talked with recently that's done like a cover of some magazine that you've seen. But like basically talking with folks and just them telling me, it's like, hey, I don't know how I got here. I'm just faking it till I make it.
Yeah.
And so you see it when you're in those rooms and people are afraid to speak up. Women are afraid to speak up. People of color are afraid to speak up. I don't want to, I want to say, hey, I got this idea, but like, I feel like I speak for the culture. Like, if I'm like, hey, I got this idea, and it's like,
Yeah.
that was a terrible idea, Brent. You just set your people back 5 years. Like, all right, cool. That's all
Right.
right. That's cool. I'm good with that, man. As long as
Yeah.
we didn't make it back to roots, I guess we good. But like, but no, that's just one of those situations that like you can see it, like it's there, and and I I want in my dream world. Okay, I don't know who's watching, so I ain't gonna start dropping knowledge on y'all like that about what I've seen from other races. But there are people in the world who are a bit mediocre. Who, if we all had the confidence of them, like the world would be a different place.
Mm. That's good. Confidence is key,
Confidence,
and
super
not
key.
comparing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. Are you just gonna hang out for the rest of this? Because I feel like you can probably comment on some of the other stuff I said.
I
So feel
mean,
free to
let's
hang out as long.
make sure my battery ain't dying.
Did you?
Make sure my battery wasn't dying. Actually, Jasmine's watching.
Okay.
She can get my Jasmine. I know you watching. Can you get my wireless charger? All right. I don't know if you heard
um,
me. Okay.
Eric said, "I'm sure Barack Obama woke up the first morning in the White House like, okay, what now?"
You know he did. You know he
Yeah.
did.
But I actually found some quotes from like some prominent people. This all about like imposter syndrome. So Tina Fey said, "The beauty of the imposter syndrome is you vacillate between extreme egomania and a complete feeling of I'm a fraud. Oh God, they're onto me. I'm a fraud."
Mm-hmm.
Maya Angelou, the prize-winning author, once said after publishing her 11th book that every time she wrote another one, she thinks to herself, "Uh-oh, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody."
Yep.
Michelle Obama, the former first lady, has spoken and written about how, as a young woman, she used to lie awake at night asking herself, am I too loud, too much, dreaming too big? Eventually, I just got tired of worrying what everyone else thought of me, she said, so I decided not to listen.
Okay. All right.
And that's so true. And it's like what you say to yourself, that changes the way that you see yourself too.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a huge person about like affirmation. So the night before I took my LCSW, which is my licensed clinical social work exam, I was freaking out. And I was just like, I don't care how much education I have, how many years I've studied, all of this, like I just don't
I'm gonna say
know.
go
I'm
in
gonna
my
fail. And
bag
I just
and
like
grab
was like freaking out that I was
my,
gonna fail. And
my
then
pocket charger. Sorry.
what I wound up doing was writing different affirmations. So it actually it was 2 days before my exam, and so I was just glad it didn't happen the day before my exam because I was up to like 4 in the morning. But 2 days before my exam, I had this huge freak out, and I was just like, I'm just gonna fail. I don't know this. I'm not qualified enough to do this. So I literally wrote with some lipstick, or it was either lipstick or a dry erase marker on my mirror. I wrote all these different scriptures. I wrote, Rachel, back then I was Rachel Moore, LCSW, this, that, and the other. And I just like, I was like, no. And I had to look at and I wrote it on my bathroom mirror. So every time I went to go to the bathroom, every time I brushed my teeth, I saw those letters behind my name. And I was just like, okay, this is who I am. This is my identity, all that. And then I went and I passed the test, you
Yeah.
know? So it was great. But it's like I had to change the way I saw myself. I had to start speaking those things, you know? And so that was like a huge tool for me. So yeah, so that was huge. Um, some other tools that I found to defeat doubt and
Mm-hmm.
embrace your identity. So, one of the biggest things for me is scripture. That's like huge because it's like I feel like everything that we need to know about ourselves, usually God, He has the answers to. You know, He created our identity. And so I just wanted to share some of my favorite ones with you guys.
Let's do it.
Ephesians 1:5 says, He chose us before the foundation of the world that we should be holy and blameless before Him. In love, He predestined us for adoption as sons through Jesus Christ according to the purpose of His will. So that one is one of my favorites. Another one is 1 Peter 2:9. But you are not like that, for you are a chosen people. You are a royal priest, a holy nation, God's very own possession. As a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for He called you out of the darkness into His wonderful light. Sorry, I'm like operating off of two
No, you
devices.
good. You
Okay.
good. That dual screen.
Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so that we can do the good things He planned for us long ago. And I love that because it makes me just think like, man, the things that I'm doing now were already planned for me. Like, so it's not just like happenstance that I got here. Like, this was the plan for me. So it's like, I deserve this. Colossians 2:9. For in Him dwells all the fullness of the Godhead bodily, and you are complete in Him, who is the head of all principality and power. And I feel like that just talks to the completeness that we have in Him. And then the last one is Jeremiah 1:5. This is one of my favorites. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. And I love that because, again, it kind of speaks to that plan and that destiny that we had. And it kind of takes away that, you know, I'm just here on accident, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very much like this was on purpose. And my whole life is on purpose. And so, you know, I have to believe that the things that are happening to me are supposed to be.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's super important. Um, Also, creating evidence for your experience. So like lists. So like being able to
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, like these are things that I'm good at. Like this is what I've accomplished. Because so often, in you kind of talked to it earlier. So often we're just like, well, I don't know if I've accomplished enough. Especially, you know, when you're around people who have been in it longer. But you have to realize they've been in it longer.
Exactly.
You know, they've had more time to accomplish things rather than actually, you know, you're just where you're at now, but you still have so much time and so much room to grow. And if you're already where they're at 28, can you imagine where you're going to be at 48?
That's the scary part. That's the scary part of being where they're at, and like they're at like 50, and I'm there like
Mm-hmm.
28. It's like, so
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna happen when I'm 58? Like, what happens then? Like, what am I gonna be like? I don't know, like a taxidermist? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? Like, I don't know what lies ahead. Um, but yeah, so it is the thing of just understanding. It's like, you know, you put the work in. You're at where they're at now, and then you're gonna set it. You're gonna set the bar for the next generation. Next generation.
Right.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're you know, the person who, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a really great metaphor, but I'm going blank right now because I'm on the spot. But like, you know, the person that came before them was also like probably 70 in the spot. Like, who are these young whippersnappers coming in? And then they popped in, and so it's just going to be getting that situation where it's going to get more and more.
Yeah.
And that's just how life works. That's how growth works.
Yeah. Yeah. And your mom is out here dropping some gems too. Name it and claim it with your
Oh man,
affirmations,
yeah.
enjoying the journey. Absolutely. Hey, mama. But yes, you have to enjoy the journey. And that's one thing too, is because I'm a very, like, anybody who knows me, I'm like super type A. I'm super like, I've got to strive. I've got to be the best. I've got to do this. Listen, don't shade.
I didn't say nothing. I said
But
nothing.
but you know that, like, so I'll constantly want to be like, okay, I'm not doing enough. I saw something, it was like one of those memes, and it's like nobody, and it's like black women, I should get another degree. And it's like, that is me to the nth degree, because I'll be like, okay, I know I just did this, but maybe I should be doing this, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
I should be doing this. And there now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the strive. There's
No,
nothing wrong with
nothing at
wanting to
all.
better yourself. But also embracing where you're at right now, embracing all the hard work that
Yep.
you put in, right? Because you've been working hard, I've been working hard, and
Exactly.
it's okay to sometimes just rest in it and kind of like float and be like, man, let me just enjoy some of the fruits of my
Yeah.
labor. I get on you about this all the time. Like, when you gonna relax? When you gonna, you working? So
My
when the
feet
last
are
time you
up.
went?
My feet are up right now. They'll be
Good.
down later. I still got some things to do tonight, but right now they up. So
Yeah, because time is one of the biggest investments, right?
true.
And you can't get that, especially when we're young and we have families and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to take that time and say, okay, yes, I'm working and I'm doing amazing work, but I also just have to enjoy
Yeah.
it, and I have to enjoy it with the people that I care about.
Exactly.
That's super
Because
important.
there's no reason to do any of the stuff that we're doing if we don't get to enjoy it, and even more, we don't get
Exactly.
to enjoy those fruits. Like, we don't get to enjoy to sit around and be with the people that you love and you care about, and being able
Right.
to not have to worry about things that you had to worry about 10, 15 years ago. So
Exactly.
that's what we're doing for it. Like, I'm very appreciative of where I'm at in my career and things I've been to accomplish. But honestly, in the day, if it wasn't for Jasmine, like, I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I've done. And she's
Right.
one of the reasons what keeps me striving day in and day out. Cause, like, oh, okay, I gotta do it for the fam. And we had Cole, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta do it for my son. Like, I want to make sure
Right.
when he's my age, he's like looking at he doesn't have to go outside the house. Most likely he's gonna find like other idols and mentors and things like that people look up to. But I want to be like, you know
Right.
what? My dad was out there. He was kicking it. Like, he was 28 in New York Times. He's lived in
Right.
3 different time zones in 4 years. He was basically a nomad, but like, I want him to be like, I can do whatever I put my mind to because my dad did.
Exactly.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, I also want to be like, hi, I'm your father. Nice to meet you. I enjoy talking
Right.
to you, and I see you more
Right.
than like an hour a month. So
Exactly. So true. Um, we kind of hit on all of this, but some other stuff that some of the articles were saying that, like, if you are struggling with all that, you're just like, okay, affirmations aren't working, name it and claim it ain't working, all that, talking to a colleague or a friend, knowing that you're not alone,
mm-hmm.
because so many times we go through this journey and we're just like, I'm the only one feeling this.
Yep.
I'm embarrassed to admit that, like, I don't feel good enough sometimes, or I don't, and as soon as we say it to somebody else, they're like, oh my God, me
Exactly.
too.
Well, it's more or
And
less
so,
like,
yes,
me too. I got you. I understand
especially
completely.
because, yeah, especially because of the social media thing,
Oh
right? Because all
God.
you see are snapshots of people's
Yes.
lives.
Yes.
That's all you get. You get
Yes.
a moment. So you get them to say, boom, I'm celebrating this accomplishment, but you don't get to say, okay, but 6 days out of this 7-day week, like, I was fretting about what I was going to post,
Exactly.
about if it was going to work out, and all that. And so you have to know that, like, everybody, and like you said, even people who've been doing it for 30 years, for 40 years, it's like they still experience the same thing. And
Yeah.
sometimes maybe they just need somebody to be able to say, hey, me too, like, I get it.
Exactly.
Like, it's okay. And you're going to get through it. You're going to have some great days. You're going to have some not so great
Yeah.
days. And it's okay on both days.
Exactly. I mean, and that's just one of those situations where, like, by talking to someone else, and for me, which I'm very happy the New York Times did, we had, I think, what was our it wasn't orientation. It was like some meeting around orientation. One of the big things they're trying to like keep people is retention. The name of the game is retention. And so we had a whole bunch of people from the mastheads. We had members of the masthead come through, and they were just like what all of them said. Like, and these are like the big wigs. These are folks that like
Yeah.
make the decisions at the New York Times. And everyone in that room was like, yeah, I got, I'm just making it. Like, I'm just figuring out as I go. And it's like,
Right.
but don't you have like a Pulitzer? Like, yeah, I got a Pulitzer, some John F. Kennedy Awards. I got that office over there that you really can't come into. If you want to talk to me, you got to go through 3 people and get like
Right.
recommendation letters to talk to me. But yeah, somebody's gonna find me out sooner or later too. And I think for me that was so humbling, just to
Yeah.
realize it's like, but you've been doing this for a while and you feel this way.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And even for the folks that are like in the same age group as me, just understand, just having those conversations. And I feel like we miss
Yeah.
so much of that. Of just because I feel like everyone is trying to be in their own lane or trying to handle this on their
Mm-hmm.
own, that we never actually have the conversations that really matter to be like, hey, this is real. This is something serious that we need to talk about. And it's like we're all in this
Exactly.
together. We're on this giant rock spinning in a circle all together.
Especially when it comes to the Black community, because there's so much competition, rather than if we will get back to community too and being able to say like, hey, I'm gonna let you know, like, even though I'm over here in my small business and you got your small business, that doesn't mean I'm not going to tell you about my, we're so afraid. We have to protect our failures, right?
Yep.
And we have to be like, okay, I can't let you know I'm struggling, or I can't let you know that I'm
Exactly.
discouraged because I got to be doing as good as you, instead of just saying, hey, like, this is where I'm struggling at, but hey, let me tell you this so you don't fall into that same
Mm-hmm.
pitfall. Or, do you have any tips? That vulnerability. And if we're able to do that, like, that is so
Yeah.
powerful. And we miss that so much.
So
Like,
much.
so much.
And so we will honestly look and watch someone like fall into the same pothole we just came across.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say a word. I'm like, dang, I could have told you that. Like, why didn't you tell me?
Right.
I'm sitting there with a broken ankle. Why didn't you tell me that pothole was there? So
Exactly.
yeah, that's one of the big things. Is like, yo, like, even if like I don't want to use the crab metaphor because I don't think people are like more or less falling into that crab metaphor. But I think it is a situation where at times folks will just let you bump your head. And I feel like we have that
Yeah.
mentality so many times, but we need to let that go. Like, that's done.
Yeah.
Because how we're going to further the culture, the community, everyone is to
Yeah.
help people grow. Like, I tell
Exactly.
everyone I'm standing on the shoulders of giants every day I go
Mm-hmm.
to work. Just
Right.
because there's some people that came before me that cleared that path for me to show me where to go, what not to hit, that I can still
Yeah.
call up and be like, hey man, I'm going through this channel right now. I'm trying to walk my way
Mm-hmm.
through. I'm trying to find this path. And like, hey, you go down the street, 5 steps, make the left, make the right, jump over the bunny. And when you
Right.
see that tree with the heart sign on it, you there. I'm like, all right, cool, cool, cool.
Right. Yeah. And I think we're so afraid that people are going to replace us, but then it comes from that inferiority of, like, that you're replaceable, and
Yeah,
you have to realize, like, there's only one you.
exactly.
Like, there's legit only one you. There's a song by Jonathan McReynolds. It's called "Comparison Kills," and it's
Mm,
one of my favorite songs to listen to. And I'm gonna read some of the lyrics. But it speaks to that too. It says, we all want to be successful and get mad when God's not in a rush. Waste your time just making copies. You'll see you did not accomplish much. Pressure gets hot, and with heat come mirages. So you think it's cool over there. Your thirst is real, but water can't feel what comparison kills.
mm,
Um, and that's like so deep, right? Because it's like we'll be so like quick to be like, okay, I just got to be like everybody else, and maybe if I do it their way, then that's gonna help give me ahead. And or like if I got to do this, and I can't let anybody else come into this because then they might take my idea. But it's like it has to come from
yeah,
you. Like there's only one you, and that's something like I said, I had to teach myself, and I'm still teaching myself. It's
yeah,
like to accept like there's only one me. Even if I'm called to do something that a million other people are, they can't do it how I do it.
exactly.
They can't do it how in my voice. They can't do it with my style. So but it's hard though,
It's
especially
tough.
when you see so many other people doing it. You're just like, but they doing it, so it's cool. But it's
Hmm.
like there's a reason why you're here.
Exactly, and that's I feel like that's one of the things that it took me forever to understand, and like really
Hmm.
like just lean in and enjoy that. Like I'm here for a reason. Like
Yeah.
I might be one of the youngest people there. I might be one of the only black people there. Like I might be slightly almost feeling like I'm just treading water some days, but like I'm here for a
Yeah.
reason. Somebody
Right.
saw something and was like, yeah, we need you in this room. You're bringing
Exactly.
something to it that like the other 600 people who applied for that job or wanted to get in that
Yeah.
spot um, didn't have. You have something
Exactly.
special, and it's like we're not gonna just boot you out just because you messed up on like I don't know one photo that went on a page. Like now,
Right.
if you go on a tyrant and you just phone everything in, you start sending like crayon photos in. Yeah, we're gonna probably let you go because you're drawing crayons on the pages. But
Right.
like you're able to make mistakes. We all have made mistakes, and we've all grown
Yeah.
and learned from those mistakes. And it's just
Yeah.
like lean in, understand. Like we want you for a reason. I tell so many photographers that work for me the exact same thing. They're like, oh, well, do I need to shoot like I'm in the New York Times and then photographs like that? And I'm like, no, I called you because I want you. If I wanted that
Exactly.
style, I would have called that person. But I called
Exactly.
you because you're special. Because I like the way that you
Yeah.
do things, the way you see, and the way that you go after what you want. So that's why I called
Exactly.
you.
Yeah. That's so good. I hope you tell yourself that this week
I don't.
for
The
you.
crazy part is, I don't tell me that. Like, I'll tell everyone that. Like, if you hop on the phone with any photographer I work with, they're like, "Oh yeah, Brent, you guided me through the story, and I was feeling unconfident. And you told me exactly what I needed to hear." It's like, "Yeah, man." And like, I hang up the phone, like, "Oh my god, why am I even here?" They probably didn't even understand what I was talking about. I think I was just talking crazy. And I get on the phone with someone else, like, "Yeah, man, so you totally got this, right? You just go in there, you tell the stories of your heart. You're so passionate about what you do. You have a good eye."
Mm-hmm.
And then I hang up the phone again. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna be able to lay this page out. Oh, I'm never gonna lay this page out. No one's gonna find out, and then we're gonna live in squalor." But but
Squalor.
like a brother got a mortgage. But yeah, but that's just where like. But yes, that's my goal is to actually like do more of that. And just my
Yeah.
2019 goal is to be Kanye. I want to get closer back to 16-year-old Brent. I know
Yeah.
you knew and
Because
loved.
16-year-old Brent was all about Brent.
You
And
couldn't
so
tell me
he
nothing.
was literally talking like Kanye. He's like, Brent is the greatest. Brent, and then I would be
Done.
like, what? You don't get over yourself. but, and so that's in you,
Yeah.
right?
But like,
Eric brought up LeBron James when LeBron's like, I'm the greatest basketball player on the planet. And yeah, and that was so funny you mentioned that, Eric, because that was actually one of the articles. Like that,
mm,
he said he manifests that as saying, okay, this is, I'm doing what LeBron James needs to do.
yeah.
So being able to say, like, having those moments where it's like, I'm going to, can't nobody kill this like Rachel. Can't nobody
Yep.
kill this like Brent. Can't nobody do, because you can't, like, nobody can.
Yeah.
Nobody can. You're at the New York Times and nobody's going to be able to have as many Kanye references as you can. I guarantee it.
No. I pride
And so
myself.
you're going to bring that in,
Work on the daily. Can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Look out for those flashing lights.
Yeah.
It's graduation.
So, yeah.
But
and you weren't a college dropout, okay?
exactly. Yes, and I was not. I might have registered late. I was definitely late registration, but I was not a college
Yeah.
dropout, and I did graduate. Um,
And that's so important. And so it's really putting that on repeat and practicing
exactly.
for yourself.
Oh,
And not being afraid to take that risk though, because it's a risk. Like you take a gamble on yourself, right? And you say, okay, it's too much, or like if I invest all this, I'm gonna lose. And one thing I've had to tell myself, the absolute worst thing that can happen is that I fail.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
I fail. So then I try something else.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, yes, there's risk in failure, but failure can be beautiful, right? Like so many famous people failed, and those failures
Yes.
what brought them to, J.K. Rowling is one of my favorite
Oh yeah.
people. She was denied so many times. She has a quote out there that says, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation that I built my life on." Like having to go through all these things where you're just like, okay, you don't want me. All right, you don't want me. All right, you don't believe in my vision. You don't believe in my vision. But I know she had to be telling herself, but like, I know what I wrote is good. I know it sounds crazy. Whoever heard of Hogwarts? Whoever heard of it? But I know that it sounds great. She's one of the best-selling authors.
Yeah.
One of, all the movies. Like, she's going to be making money for her great grandchildren.
Exactly.
Like, that's legacy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have to change the way that we talk about ourselves.
Truly.
Because if we don't believe in ourselves, if we don't see the vision, like, nobody else will ever be able to buy that.
You can't sell somebody something that you're not willing to buy. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not willing to take that bet on you, take that gamble on yourself to go put that crazy ideal out there in the universe, who else is going to take it? Like, if you're not willing to, like, do it, why would I invest in you? Why would I put anything towards you? But if you're like, you know what? I'm crazy enough to believe this, and I can make you believe it, and I can make someone else believe it, the next thing you know, you're the next J.K. Rowling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. And that brings me back to the wonderful book that you got by Jessica Contessa. She's in the room now. And again, it's called It's Too Expensive, Exploring the Life, What It Costs to Build Your Dream. You guys can find her on Facebook.
Nice.
And like I said, she also builds and designs websites specifically for like women and women of color. But if you ever have any, questions just about like business and like doing different things and all that, feel free to reach out to her. She's like here. Jessica, if you have specific things that you want to link them to, feel free to leave it in the comments.
Please.
Yes. any like takeaways, any knowledge, any more knowledge that you'd like to drop on the
Let me
people, or
see.
words of encouragement, or even tell us things, projects you might be working on that we need to look out for so that we can support you.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite things. I think honestly, if I look back, is like, what's the one thing that like brought you to the point you are now, that I am now?
Mm-hmm.
I was a daydreamer. I was a
Mm-hmm.
daydreamer and a planner.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had like a 5 year goal of just like where I wanted to be in 5 years. And then when I got
Yeah.
there, I had another goal. And so for me,
Mm-hmm.
the big thing for me back in the day was like, I want to win that Pulitzer. I want that Pulitzer. I think I would still possibly be, I think we're like 5 or 6 black people that have ever won Pulitzers
Mm.
in photo land. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be up there. I'm going to, oh, I lost you. Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Hold on. Are you back? Am I here?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, let's see. Well, no. Okay, so I've just always been a daydreamer. Like the ideal back in Chillicothe, Ohio, which whoever can find it on a map gets $1. Um, like even then I was like, yo, so one day I'm gonna come back and work for the Chicago Tribune. I'm gonna do all these amazing projects. I'm gonna win all these types of Pulitzers. It's gonna be amazing. And like I just kept that and I kept
Mm-hmm.
repeating that over and over again. It was like a loop. And I was like
Yeah.
working on my speeches. I was laying out my clothes. Like I knew exactly how it was gonna go down.
Yeah.
I knew what story I was gonna win on. And even when I got to like the Denver Post, and I was like, I finally like made it to that large metro daily. I guess I left a question mark. Maybe it wasn't Chicago Tribune, but it was like someplace I could do the work I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm here. Now what? Now I'm going to go out and find that story. Now I'm going to do the story I want to do.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go change some lives. That's what I wanted to do. And so
Yeah.
it's just constantly like leaving that on repeat, just daydreaming. I was a huge daydreamer. I still am a huge daydreamer.
Yeah.
Little less focused now exactly on what we're daydreaming about, but like
Mhm.
it's just keeping that on repeat.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What other takeaways? No, man, just everybody out there, just trust yourselves. Like, be confident in you.
Yeah.
Like, I know some of us might not like Kanye. That's fine. That's okay. To each his own. But like, take that little bit of cockiness and that confidence that you're
Hmm.
like really makes him annoying, and then like
Yeah.
shave off like 3% of that and put it into you. I mean, 3% of
Right.
Kanye confidence is good enough for all of us.
Yep.
But
And
like,
even if you don't like them, you know
you know them. You
them.
know them. And like just keep that in your mind because
Yeah.
honestly, like you gotta be confident in yourself. You gotta keep that competitive spirit and you gotta just be like, yo,
Absolutely.
I can do whatever I want to do. If I want to walk on the moon, I'm gonna walk on the moon. If you're gonna tell me I can't
Right.
do it, I'm gonna show you that I can do it. And then once I do it, I'm going to then show you me doing it. Um,
Yes.
so it's just like just trust in you. Like just be your
Hmm.
biggest fan. Like
Absolutely.
cheer for yourself. If no one else is in your corner and you're talking about some crazy stuff, like cheer for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but without that, I mean, other than that, like
Yeah.
that's my takeaway. That's my give backs. Um,
Yeah.
and
And get a solid circle. You need people
oh
around who are like
yes,
cheering for you. If it's not a spouse, that's cool, but like get a best friend.
yeah,
Get people who are going to be like, okay, I know you feel like you suck today, but you don't. And now I need to remind you how you don't
yeah,
suck. You need people like
yep.
that. Like you never underestimate the power of a solid circle.
Oh, without a doubt.
And as we get into like, I'm gonna be 30 this year, and I'm like, my circle has dwindled. But
Hmm.
just get you a few solid, even if it's one or two, doesn't matter. But you need those people who are speaking into your
Yeah.
life and who are saying, okay, even when you won't do it, I will still do it for
Yeah, you got everybody needs them a Flavor Flav. That's my ultimate
you.
goal.
Yeah,
Like everything I do with Diversify, whenever I'm at portfolio reviews, whenever I'm doing anything from like meeting with younger photographers or photographers that
yeah,
like are trying to get into the industry and make it, I'm their Flavor Flav. Like that's how I am. You come to the New York
yeah.
Times, I'm like, this person makes heat. You need to hire them for everything. They're the best.
I love
And
it.
like someone will be like, well, Brent, I don't know. No, we had a post New York Portfolio Review shindig, and one of the women came up to me and she was like, well, I don't know about this. Like, no, 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 no. Throw it out the window. You're amazing.
Hmm.
Like you were
Yeah,
brilliant. I've seen your work. Your work is crazy. If I was a photographer right now, I would probably be working at Starbucks just because that's how good you are. Like, no, like there'd be no place for me. So like, go. But like, find that Flavor Flav. Find your Flavor Flav.
Yes.
Find them.
I love that.
Like, yeah, I've been like on metaphors all week. It's crazy. But like, yeah,
I love it.
everyone just needs, just find your Flavor Flav. If you don't have a Flavor Flav, be your own Flavor Flav. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just, if you gotta look at yourself when you in the mirror, like do the Issa Rae thing and Insecure. Look at yourself in the mirror and start rapping.
I've never seen Insecure.
You've never seen Insecure?
I don't have access to HBO.
Oh, I'm sitting. When we get off, you get my HBO login, so you can get into that right now.
See, that's a friend right there. That's a friend. But yeah, no, I definitely will talk in the mirror all the time because I have to and because it comes in everywhere, right? It comes in like you can have imposter syndrome at work, you can have imposter syndrome as a spouse, as a parent, you know, and we didn't even get into all of that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother ball game.
I'm not a good enough husband or wife. I'm not a good enough mom or dad. I'm not, you know, and so there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
But constantly being able to speak and say, okay, like, no, I am good enough. I am, and not let anybody like tell you any different.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother ball game, you know. But you also know, like being in a situation when you got married young and, you know, just trying to figure it out. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this. Like, what do you, how people make it 30 years? 30? I'm at 5. And I'm like, I know Jasmine's probably sitting there like, I can't stand him. He think he all that in the bag of chips. Whatever she's saying, like, he don't never pick up his socks. He never pick up his socks. And I'm just like,
I'm sorry, my kid had to hug me goodnight.
Yeah.
Good night.
What's up, man? What's good, man?
Oh.
But like even with Cole, I'm just like, oh man. Everything I do, I feel like I gotta take him to do cultural events because if I don't, like at some point he's gonna look back at me, he's gonna be doing like 3 hots in a cut and in jail and be like, it was my daddy's fault. And I'm like, no. But yeah, so we didn't even get in that. That's a whole nother segue that we can go down that one.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, that might be a whole show in itself. But, I mean, but it's so important because it is again, and that's that mind stuff, right? Where you're like, okay, I felt, you know, and for me, I had it double because not only was I a parent, but I was like, I'm on my second marriage, so I'm just like, okay, whoa, like. What? How am I gonna do this differently? Maybe I'm not gonna be good enough. Maybe blah blah blah. And I just be like, nope, you the best wife ever.
Exactly.
Do this, you know, and be like, and constantly remind yourself just how awesome you are. And it's definitely a thing about intentionality, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be so intentional. You have to make sure because it's easy to slip.
Oh,
and it's easy to fall back into those old habits. So you have to make sure that you're saying, okay, you know what? I know I'm not feeling it, but I'm gonna stop myself right there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I'm gonna handle it. Like my day from 8 in the morning to like 3 o'clock may have been this way, but it doesn't have to end this way.
Exactly.
So how can I fix it?
Yep.
Yes. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Problem.
This is my future Pulitzer Prize winning bestie, Brent Lewis.
Hey.
It's amazing. Check out his work. So where can they find information about Diversified Photo and all of that? So please share your information.
You can get everything at my website, blewisphoto.com. So BLEWISPHOTO.com. That gives you links to Diversify. If you want to check out Diversify directly, it's just diversify.photo. That's it. Right now we're 300 plus right now, photographers of color from, I would love to say just the continental US, but we are expanding. We are going global. So we are across the globe right now. We have done grant opportunities. We've done funding opportunities. We are working on a workshop right now. I went on Kanye rant the other day. So now we're working on a magazine, like a really short publication magazine. If you want to check out the work I'm doing for the Times, you can go to my website, which is blewisphoto.com, and see the stuff I've worked on. And you also, support the New York Times. Be a subscriber. It's fine. It's nice. Believe me, it's better than Netflix. I can guarantee it's better than Netflix. Like, how many times are you really going to watch Black Mirror? Like, how many times?
That's another one I've never seen. I'm too much of a punk, though, to watch that. I hear too many creepy things about that. That's neither here nor there. We can, debate about that later.
Okay. All right.
Neither here nor there. But thank you. I'm going to make sure. So, again, blewisphoto.com.
Yep.
blewisphoto.com. Diversified.photo.
Yep.
Is it
it's
.com?
No, it's just .photo.
Okay, diversified.photo. find them there. I'm going to make sure I put the links in there. I'm also going to put the information for Jessica. Thank you so much for Jessica for letting me have that book so that I can share it. And make sure you send me your address so that I can get it, because you still didn't send it to me from the last time.
Are you sure? I don't know.
I'm positive.
I think my mama calling. Mama, what you say? I gotta go.
But yes, thank you everyone for watching. I know this was a little bit later, so thank you guys for sticking through to the end. This was some amazing material. So, and thank you, Brent, again for coming on, dropping your knowledge, giving us all a little Kanye. We all gonna be listening to some Kanye tomorrow. Like, okay.
I'm just saying, if you ever need to run away, or you just feel like just go ahead and get your little black skinhead. It's fine. You just gotta. But remember, always go through the wire. Always through the wire. Because that's how I'm coming to you now, through the wire.
Through the wire.
Keep your school spirit. Keep your school spirit. And remember, little Jimmy had a future too.
Little Jimmy had a future. I don't think we need to say anything more.
No, we're good.
Past that. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next Thursday. And you guys have a good night.
All right.
All right.